Happy evening. Welcome to Mahipati Talks. As a series of lectures we have been organizing in the evenings, 5:30 and 7 o'clock. Today we have got a session, interesting session during this COVID-19. As you all aware that we started this because of COVID-19, and it has given us an opportunity to learn from others. Especially today's session is very important because mental immunity need of the hour. As we know that morning to evening when we are watching news or WhatsApp, whatever you see, a lot of information about this COVID and you are tensed and anxiety levels have gone up. And there's a tension what to do and what not to do. Most of the times people are insecure sometimes, no? And I'm sure that today this session is going to help us a lot. Why? Because we're going to listen to a psychologist, famous psychologist who has got a lot of experience. She's going to talk about the topic called mental immunity need of the hour. And it's my privilege to introduce today's resource person. She's senior counseling psychologist and team lead. She has got 7 years of solid experience as counseling psychologist, worked with an NGO as a family counselor in supporting the underprivileged women by empowering them to stand for themselves. That is very important because most of the times women feel low and they think that no, we will not be able to do that. No, she has worked for this NGO and she empowered those women stand for themselves. And working with the corporate educational institutions and providing guidance and support to students, staff, parents, and employees. It's also very important. She's working for a well-known corporate institutions, especially intermediate institutions where she has been guiding. She has got throughout the nation. She has got a lot of team where she's guiding them and she's making them to understand, and also she's understanding these students and she's saving lot many teenagers' life and to overcome their maybe depression or suicidal tendencies, and she need them to make their life more confident and lead their life more effectively and successful. And also, she is a media person. She's a presenter at Vanita TV. She goes as a panelist, and she's always there with the program called Helpline. And I'm happy to share that apart from all these things, we both were colleagues, worked together, learned together. I can say that under the IITD, Indian Institute of Training and Development. And thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for accepting to deliver a session, and which is very important. That is immunity, mental immunity need of the hour. Now I request Sharmila ma'am to go ahead with the session uh, about mental immunity, the need of the hour. Unmute your microphone, ma'am. Unmute your microphone, ma'am. Kindly unmute your microphone, ma'am.
Thank you, Srinivas Mahipati Garu, for having me here, and thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity where I can share my insight and knowledge with most of the people who are in need of it. So today we are going to have this particular time where we can understand about what is actually this mental immunity. So we have been hearing a lot nowadays that how the physical immunity is very much important in our lives. Like many of the times where you get to listen to from the hospitals, doctors, media, everywhere, like how it is important to have a physical health and the immunity, which is most required to fight against all the physical ailments which we might. Mind is something which is a big controller of everything. What we think, what we perceive, what we do, is completely controlling all our actions which we do. So how is that? If we need to maintain that physical immunity, it starts from the mental health. So mental health again is very much important for all of us in getting into the physical health. what is it most important right now? So this is what we are going to understand today in this time. So I'll try to share a slide and we'll take you through the slides, and one by one we will try to understand. Okay. Yeah. I would want you all to reflect for a while, and especially I would want all of you who are viewing this would like to take out some time for yourself. Reflect for yourself. Think about you, yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, what is happening to you, and at the end of this, I will at the end of this presentation. You will be able to understand what is that you are doing, having a feeling, or how is that you would like to again build yourself, and rebuild your thoughts. So, meanwhile, in this, I'm going to reflect for a while and see what is that your emotional state is. After talking about the mental health, it is more important to address about the emotions and feelings, because that is wherein your thoughts are going to build on. So how are you feeling right now? How are you feeling about yourself? How are you feeling about your work? That's more important. Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling confident? Are you feeling courage? Are you feeling about yourself? Are you able to relate to everyone? Are you being friendly? Are you likely to enjoy every moment of yours? Or whether are you feeling sad, unhappy, cribbing, and complaining, being restless, or irritable, or sad, or to some extent anxiety, anxious as well? So this is something where I would want you to think about yourself. These are the areas where each of us difference. So now, if you see that this particular period, many of us are going through a lot of uncertain periods. Even in, if I would say that every single person now is going through a lot of turmoil, like anxiety or fear about the uncertainties. It is not only your family, not only about the job. It could be every single person about yourself, your family, your friends, your relatives, your neighbors, and the whole society as well. So one single change in the society is reflecting on every individual right now. So this has been what we are dealing with now, dealing with how we can deal it in a better way. So none of us are excluded out of this. Either one of the factor will be always there, which is contributing the fear and anxiety with every one of us. So there's every one of us are going through this. I want you all to again think, give it a thought in this. Just give it a thought, like, do you see how do you do challenging situations, like any circumstances or any changes, whatever is happening to you, how do you view that? How do you perceive that? Do you see the challenging moments as opportunities, or which will strengthen your resolve to live a happy or joyful life? Or do you allow those external events or the changes to determine the factors of levels of your happiness? Means one is, so if you have a control over the situation, are you having a control over the situation? It could be a job scenario where you might be thinking that they might down you, or are you able to handle them in a much better and confident way? It is not about like not handle it. So let us understand this
Audio is
mental
not
health.
clear, madam. Now and then your audio is getting interrupted.
Oh, I think it is because of the signal problem.
That's fine. That's fine.
So now am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible now.
Right. So it all depends upon the mental health. So whatever we do, whatever we act on, however we would like to work on our mind is control over the whole natural issue. Firstly, that's how we think, how we feel, and behave in a daily life. I previously asked you one question. How do you feel? What is your thoughts? How do you feel in such a situation? And the loop of creative loss. Or if you're healthy, it makes you feel more confident and mental health is not about not having any kind of answer or change or loss. It's all about how we deal with those stressors in life. If anything comes up uncertainly, if anything comes up, used to it's a sudden stop and we have to pay our own way into and start to our destination, because once we are all of a sudden asked to stop and then reset and then start forward. So this is something, a change, a bigger change in all of our lives. But how are we responding to this change? Are we responding in a positive way, or are we responding in a negative way? What is the difference between the positive response and the negative response? This is something which is again depends upon the mental health. How we deal with these factors, change factors and challenging factors, it depends upon the how strong is your mental health. Being mentally or emotionally healthy is much more than being free from depression, anxiety, or other side effects. Schizophrenia or anxiety, higher levels of anxiety things, or a lot into the bigger disorders kind of thing. But mental health is all about staying positive, mentally strong, and able to cope with the stressors. It could not be only the things which is lead to the. So rather than the absence of the mental illness, mental health refers to the presence of positive characters. That's why I think we have been discussing on the positive characteristics, how you look at yourself as a person, how you look at your family as a big support system, how you look at your job being enjoyable or happy and doing it, how you view at your relationships with the people around you. Always this mental health depends upon three factors. How you look at yourself. Are you happy? Are you positive? Are you confident about your own self? Right from the way you look, right from the way you think, right from the way you present yourself, the confidence you as a person is able to maintain, that is what your mental health about yourself. And secondly, it is about your relationships. How strong are your relationships? What is your support system? Strong enough at home? Is there a good supporting family? Is the family able to contribute, share, think, listen to each other? So this is about end of the day, when you go to the home, go to your home and sit for a while, and when you are able to openly share your thoughts, and when you're openly able to listen to it was a longitudinal study, and which was happened for over 20 years. I couldn't remember the name, but it was a brain study. Relationships are, the healthier the brain functions, and the healthier the longevity of the brain and the people is also based on the relationships. And third is about the work. Are you about your work? Are you feeling pressurized every day to get out of your bed and go to your work? Or are you able to enjoy and be happy about the work you are doing? How are you informations you get, or the positive appreciations you get from the workplace, that helps you to make you motivated and work and give for a longer time. So this is how the three factors which are most important in building the mental health or understanding about your health. Now we get to the aspect of the I think we have covered this almost. Like, having solid mental health doesn't mean that you never go through any crisis. It is all about how you handle it. These are the normal parts. As a normal human being goes through all sorts of up and downs, like the curve. It is like the wavy movement we have in our lives. There will be ups, and obviously there will be downs. But when there are downs, how you manage these ups and downs makes a lot of difference in your mental health and you as a person. And the second thing, how you're able to bounce back. It's not about how to bounce back your ailments. If you have any fever or cold or some ailment, how you bounce back out of that, and how you are able to get out of that depends upon the immunity. It starts you for a longer time if the immunity is low, and it helps you to come out of that, and
Madam, there is some issue with the audio.
My
Can you
audio?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Can you speak with your phone? Is it okay? You call me.
Microphone. Yes.
You call me so that I'll connect to the audio here.
Okay,
Because there's
just
a
a
lot of
minute. I'll get my earphones and then we'll do it.
Okay, thank you. Meanwhile, I request others to share your learnings till now. In the chat box, you can type in the chat box what you have learned till now. Almost ma'am has covered 3 slides. Can you type in the chat box what did you learn till now? Kirtana, would you mind introducing yourself? Kirtana, Saroja, would you mind introducing yourself in the chat box, please? Maipal. and share your details in the chat box. Hi, this is Kirtana, counseling psychologist. Okay, nice meeting you. How about Saroja? Saroja, my Paul. Very good. This is Saroja, counseling psychologist. Nice meeting you.
Hello.
Yeah, ma'am, you are very much audible.
Uh, I'm not able to view any of you.
You need to switch on your video, ma'am.
I don't have a control here. Yep.
Yeah, now you are visible.
Yeah. I hope now I am audible.
Excellent, ma'am.
Good. Okay. So I think we were talking about how it is going to be like what is having a mental health. So any of you have any doubts still here? Any doubts, or do you
If you
want
have any doubts or any queries, you can type
or
in the chat box.
anything you want to talk about it? Yes. Okay. So we are talking about this mental health, like it doesn't mean that not having any kind of up and downs. It is all about how you handle that up and down. So how you handle that up and down is about how good are you able to. There are ways of dealing with that. So many of the people might be thinking that getting into some sort of negative behaviors, like getting into the drinking aspects, or cribbing about it a lot, or talking ill about that, may not be a good suggestion to bounce back. But how good are you able to handle the situation, taking the control into your hands? Like there are two ways of handling the getting into the bouncing back. So one is the, we call it external locus, and one is it internal locus. When there is some sort of things, like when we say that this pandemic, when we are struggling with this COVID and this situation, and there is a lot of challenges and the changes which every human being is going through, how do you handle this? Do we crib about the things happening around, or do we take it as a challenge and move on? So that makes a lot of difference here. So many at times we may be blaming the companies, we may be blaming the people around, or we may be blaming the situations happening around, but not trying to accept the challenge and move ahead of it. So when there is externally attribution that something is wrong, so then definitely the charge or the control will not be in a particular person's hand. But when we think that, okay, this is a particular situation which is happening, but how do I take it into my control? How do I work on it? How do I act on it? How do I can make a better use of the situation? Like, for example, this particular time, many people have might be either working too hard or double the work is getting doubled, or few of us might be having a little leisure time to work on the leisure time in the work as well. But how do we manage this? What skills are we developing? Are we building our competencies? Are we learning the new skill sets? Are we trying to equip ourselves for the next future? So how are we managing this time? It's how you bounce back to the situation and you bounce back from the situations. It is about how either you're getting into the loop
or you're trying to cut off the loops and trying to be out of that. That is the one thing which makes a difference in every individual's life. The way you handle the things, either it is giving it an external aspect into control, or then internally you are taking the control. So that is about how you resilient you are in your control in your mental health. So people who are emotionally and mentally resilient have the tools for coping. That is what we have already, the tools, how you develop those tools, how you build on yourself, what are the new skill sets you build, what are the new competencies you are developing, how you're preparing yourself. These are the different ways of tools which you use to cope up. And there are the other ways. The tools also means personally how you are building yourself. Are you working on your physical health? How have you changed the complete scenarios of your life? What is the schedule you have rescheduled for yourself so that it makes you a better living at home? So all of us might be working at home, but how do you utilize that for yourself? So waking up in the morning, and what are the things you do for yourself? What are the first few hours you're concentrating on yourself is going to define the next almost the rest of the day. How good you wake up from your bed, how good you do it for your, what you do it for yourself, and what is that you would like to work on the first few hours is going to make it you either your day happy or your day irritable or frustrated about. So these are the tools which we have to define for our own self based on our need, our flexibility, and our interest, but which should be healthy and which should help all of us to move ahead. And not only when we talk about the mental health, it does not only during the odds, but when it was not only in the good times, always while it is, whether it is a good time or a bad time, whether it is something which helps you or not helping you, the situation, but you as a person remain stronger. It is like a cyclone which is affecting a strong tree which can withstand any cyclone or any wind which is coming from either ways. That is how a strong mental health person can be standing very strong with the roots of a strong idealistic mentality. So that helps you to be much more stronger. And not only, not every time that we may be acting upon, like few of us might be not knowing what to do and how to go ahead about this, but still taking that pause and being happy and thinking about what to do and being hopeful about the future is also called a mental health. It's not always you have to jump into the actions of doing, but also taking a pause, taking your time, self time, thinking about it and being hopeful and realistic, setting a realistic expectation for yourself in the coming days is also being mentally healthy. Not every time we have to act, and I would suggest that this time is given by the nature for all of us to pause for a while, think for ourselves, have a good family time, build in the good values and beliefs, build the stronger bondings with each other, and have a good relationships with the relatives and friends. I have been knowing that many of us have been doing this, like we have been calling the friends which we haven't even called for years together. Now we are trying to have a little time with them and understand how they are doing. This is a very good aspect which nature has given for us, but one sided of this is good, but the other way, yes, that is definitely which is not the right aspect. But how we can be happy with this about for ourselves and still build that immunity is trying to pause a while and be happy and take the charge of your life. Now, again, this is about a little bit for a thinking time. Whether you are looking to cope with a specific mental health problem, you handle your emotions better, or simply to feel more positive and energetic, there are plenty of ways to take control of your mental health. So it may not be always a mental health problem. It may not always be a kind of a big challenges, but it is all about being happy, being generous, being forgivable, being helpful to each other is also a mental health, a good mental health. So how do we have a control? How do we get a control of about on our mental health? That we can start off even now. So before we move on to understand how good we can handle this emotional and the mental health, I would want you all to read this quote which is very much apt, is what I believe for this particular situation. When it comes to having a painful feeling, only way is through it. So we cannot deal with the pain until unless we experience and find a way through it. We cannot negate the pain until unless we handle it and find a way through it. So this is one thing which I have very much able to relate to during this particular situation. So we, until unless we experience the strong feelings and help deal with that, that is where the strong mental health people are able to do. They are find a way through it. What actually these mentally healthy people do possess is a strong sense of contentment. Meaning, contentment is not about having everything. It is about how good are we feeling happy about what we have around us. Being able to be having a good family, a work, and having at least a roof, whatever you feel. Having a house is about contentment. Having a job is a contentment. Having people around you is a contentment. Being able to write and read is a contentment. How good about you feel about yourself, how confident you feel, how secure you feel, how healthy you feel about yourself and your surroundings is a sense of contentment which mentally healthy people have. It doesn't mean that we need to have a lot of money, a lot of a good place of work or something, a lot of other materialistic things, but emotional things. If we have a good family and a support system and a good atmosphere for us ourselves, that itself is a great thing. That means being thankful for whatever you have around you, the people you have, the food you have, the shelter you have, the kind of life you're experiencing, and you're being able to live happily is a blissful and a blissful thing for all of us. And these all people not only have the sense of commitment just for living and the ability to laugh and have fun, these people actually experience every small moment. They enjoy every small moment. Even a child's smile will make them smile and be happy and mindful about the particular moment. Even they have a food, whatever the food they have, they enjoy it like anything. They experience every the taste of it, every ingredient in the food what they have been eating. If they are they can mingle with any kind of people right from all the age groups, and they will be able to come down to their level and enjoy that moment with them. They will be able to give off whatever they have with a lot of free will. So they people laugh at every small things. They enjoy every moment of whatever they are going through. This is something we have to understand. It's very important, though it sounds very kind of common this thing, but it is very important to us understand for how much of the time in a day are we able to be mindful. By if we are going to work, are we eating mindfully? If we are having something in mind, are we sleeping mindfully? Are we able to talk with the family mindfully? Are we living in the moment? Are we listening to them properly? So these are the simple things you can question for yourself and understand how mindful are you able to live, which is most important part of the mental health. The ability to deal with stress and bounce back from adversity. So again, this I think we have already spoken about how to deal with the stress, a sense of meaning and purpose in both their activities and their relationships. A sense of purpose, which we are going to talk about it later in the coming slides. And this is most important for everyone, all of us, to get out of the bed. What motivates us to get out of the bed? That one question is something which makes our life meaningful and purpose. For whom are we getting up? And for what are we getting up? These are the questions. If you can have answers for this, then definitely that is something you have a meaning and purpose of your own life. The flexibility to learn new skills and adapt to change. This is one more important aspect. See, learning can never be stopped. Learning always till the last breath of ours can be continued, which makes us feel younger, which makes us feel lively, which makes us still feel that we are which makes us gain knowledge and still feel that we are no, we have a lot of things to learn for. The more you are able to learn new skills, and every year if you can make out one new skill out of yourself, learn for yourself, then your longevity of your life is going to increase, because it is going to boost your immune system, mentally immune system, which is automatically helping you to boost your physical immune system. And always there is a new way of looking at things for you. When you learn a new skill, it is adding to your skill sets, and the way you look at the way you look at your life changes every time when you acquire a new skill and adapt to the change. So this, again, adapting to change is very much important. Resistance never helps any person to change according to the circumstances. But if any change, in anything you want to work on, if anything you want to change, or you want to build it, or you want to develop, or you want to shape it, anything it could be, that has to come with the acceptance and readiness to change. This, when we say that, a lot of people might be still fighting against why is this so happening, still what time it could be leading to, where is it going to, will I be able to sustain my job or not, how are my kids going to study right now, how am I going to handle my kids at home. But yes, all these are new, all these are the challenges faced by every person. But how are you able to, are you able to come out of this and make your life meaningful for yourself? Are you still cribbing on this? Means that depends upon your adaptability to the change. If you have adapted, never a day we will be cribbing, and we will see what further we have to do. Okay, this is what is happening. Let me do this, which can help me. Let me plan my day like this with my whole family can be together for some time, or if this is the work time, this is the kids time, this is the dinner time, this is the time for myself, self time, family time, work time, and the kids time. So kids time has to be little more. So if you are able to work like this, give each of this a sense of time and the purpose of your day, then definitely the adaptation to change has happened, and you have moved on from that, and you are able to make a meaning even in the new situations which you are working on. So this is something where we have to look at this. Adaptability plays a very important role in your mental health. Once you accept and start ready for the change, then only you will be start acting on how to build on a new things. A balance between work and play, rest of the activity, which I think we have already discussed on this, the ability to build and maintain fulfilling relations. Yes. So that is more important. As we mentioned, the three factors which builds the mental immunity is, that is the relationships as well. So self-confidence and higher self-esteem, the way you look at yourself, that already we have spoken to. First is yourself, second is the relationships, third is your workplace. How good are you associated with the community? How good are you able to contribute to the society? It makes a lot of meaning and purpose into your life. So now we will talk about 6 keys to mental health. These are the keys which opens the doors into the mental health. So till now, anyone would like to add anything, or would like to talk about, share any of your experiences on this, how well you are able to manage your situations, how could you cope well with your challenging situations? So anyone would like to add? Should I go ahead?
We'll go ahead, madam.
Yes.
Nobody has raised a hand or
Yes. So we'll talk about the 6 keys to mental health. Most of it are discussed. We will try to make it a little faster here, because anyway we have discussed all of them. This is the first key is the social connection. So we are human beings are said to be the social creatures, who actually needs that emotional drive, and the need is come from the relationships and the positive connections. The more we are into the social society, the more energy we are going to get in from the people around us. So that is why humans are said to be the social animals as well. We are not meant to survive in a left alone, or we cannot stay in the isolation. The more you have the social connections, that is, as we discussed, it could be the family, it could be the relatives, it could be the work related support which you are having. The social connections are most important. So once in a while, getting along with them, talking to them, knowing about their situation or trying to be with them makes your mind stronger and healthier. The second aspect is, this is most important and needed factor for building your mental immunity. So even now the doctors are saying physical immunity is not about eating and having the tablets, it's about your workout. So how much time do you give yourself for this workout? So staying active is as good for the brain as it is for the body, because the more you are working on physically, physical workouts help you release the endorphins and the good hormones which activates your brain and which makes your brain channels to open and stay healthy, and which indirectly help boost up your immune system and makes you physically active and healthy throughout the day. So the as we have already discussed, like morning, how you wake up and how much time you give it for yourself, how much time you give it for your body, workout, building your immune system, that plays a very important role in your life and throughout the day as well as throughout the life as well. So the mind and body are two different entities for the same structure. So these two entities work in a correlated way, that is which works coordinating each other. If you're physically healthy, then your mind, mentally you are going to stay fit and healthy. If you're mentally healthy, the good thoughts and the good act will lead to good behaviors, and that will make you feel more happy and stronger. So always do remember that definitely moving around in the house, at least if you can do the stretch ups, you can do your warm up stretch ups and stretching exercise or yoga, whatever it is, but see that all your body, the whole body is moving. So that helps you to be active throughout the day. The third is about how to handle the stress. This is the most important factor, which I would like to take little time on this. How is your stress response? Stress itself is a response for something which is not going well with you or around you. That stress itself indicates that, okay, something is going wrong, which is not happy for you. You are not able to either accept, adapt, or change the situation. Either we have to adapt, accept, not change it. If we don't have a control over this, then the stress response comes in. That is, the survival mode kicks in all of us. It depletes all the resources of the body, it depletes the energy levels, and it sucks all the energy from the body. So that is the reason when the stress response comes in, then definitely we have to act upon the stress in order to maintain the equilibrium of the mind and the body. That is a stability. We have to bring in the stability. How well are we going to do that? Do we really know how to handle the stress? That is one important factor. Are we like
Can you make the screen full screen, madam? Presentation full screen.
okay?
Thank you.
Oh, are we actually working on the stress? Do we know that whether we are being irritable or displacing our anger, or how are we handling that? Are we stressing ourselves or stressing the people around us? This makes a lot of this makes a lot of difference in how we maintain our mental health. So whenever you feel stressed, it is important for you to pause for a while and think about it. What is actually going on within yourself? And try to see it as a third person, like you are separate and whatever the stressing is for you is separate. Like if you see that present the job is stressing, then it is not about you going through internally, but you have to bring it out and start talking to it, like, okay, this is something which is affecting me or bothering me. How can I work on this? How, what is that I have to do about it? What is that the new skills? Should I develop my new skills, or should I work on something, or should I find out anything which helps me to work on my job stress? This is something which you conversate with your stressy factor. So when you make it as a third person, then you will be able to talk. It is completely, you are differentiating the stress factor from you and trying to address the factor. So it itself is something which you have started working on and tries to makes you feel little better about it. Ask yourself what it is doing to you right, what is that you need right now? What actually is happening? Do you need some break? Do you need some time for yourself? or do you need some resources for you to work on that? Do you need some social support for you, or do you need some family support or your self time or a break for yourself, which actually can help you to reduce stress for yourself? Becoming conscious of what you need internally can help address the root of your stress. So trying to be aware of, instead of being irritable, cribbing, or displacing your anger onto either the work colleagues or your family members doesn't help anyway, or it doesn't help even if you're taking it a toll on yourself by not sleeping or not able to eat properly or not having a good thought set for yourself. So try to differentiate your stress factor. When you, the minute you understand that your emotions are not going good, so calm down yourself, take out some time, think for yourself, think what is happening to you, and try to make it as a third party and try to address those concerns, removing it from yourself. So that will help you to actually lessen the burden of your stress and start getting into the action of addressing that. So the famous person here in the dungeon says, knowing what you're truly after can open doors into your mind to find other ways to get the comfort and peace. So that is what about all about what he says. And we also need to understand how the stress how the rest and recharge is very much important. Importance of the sleep here. The many of the people try to sacrifice the sleep or give up the sleep for the work which they are doing. They might be trying to, most of the time, if I would say the 9 hours of job is draining, the rest of the time, the kind of stress the people are undergoing, they are compromising on the sleep and trying to get out of their mind from the stress by watching something on the screens. So how good is it important? How good is it for you? That makes a difference about your actually working on your stress levels. So it is going to take a major impact on the bodies if you compromise or sacrifice the sleep, because it is depleting all your physical and mental energies and reduces the ability to work from the faster level, and it slows down the ability to work, and it also is going to affect your complete system in the longer run. So that's something which we have to be really careful about the sleep, because sleep is something, it is not a luxury for the mind, it is something which is a necessity for your mental health. It is the very much most important need for the mental health. The more you sleep, the good number of hours you sleep, the brain is going to recharge and get ready for the next day. So the sleep, remember, sleep is not a luxury for the brain, it is a very much necessity. So don't deplete or compromise on the sleep. When we sleep, we give our body time to recharge and repair. It is not only helping us to build the mental health, although physically there are a lot of things, organs restructuring and reworking and recharging for the next part of the day. So whenever you feel low, whenever you feel something going on inside, you give yourself some time to address those emotions. Always just neglecting or negating and moving ahead doesn't help. When something is bothering, we need to understand, wait a minute, pause, understand what is happening, and try to address those emotions, because they are as important as other things in the life. Because one emotion is going to change the whole system and the whole action of yours for the whole day of yours. Like if you don't address the one emotion which is actually bothering you or taking you to the other level, it is going to affect in a larger aspect. So it is very important for you to pause, think, and reflect on the emotions which are helping you. So now we talk about the eating, which is very much important, as we said, and I think most of you know how you plan your diet, how you, it is going to strongly affect the mental health. The more junk that we eat, the more calorie food that we take, it is going to thicken the myelin sheet in the beside the nerves. Every neurons where they are linked up, there is a myelin sheet which is covered, and that myelin sheet is going to get thickened, and that thickness will not allow the neural passages to happen the properly the way it has to. It makes our brain lazy, unhealthy, and gets switches into the sleep mode. Means that is where our brain functions will reduce almost 50% of their normal ability. So what food we choose to eat, the brain food is much important. Whatever you eat is directly linked with the brain functioning. So choose your foods wisely and try to have a good food which is going to work healthy on your brain. So sleep, I think we have already discussed about the sleep. It matters a lot. Your brain needs time to unwind at the end of the day. So definitely the screen time, which you are being occupied with the screens at the later part of the day, is very much unhealthy for your sleep and unhealthy for the whole day and unhealthy for your brain as well. Please try to be away from the screens at least 2 hours earlier than the time you go to sleep. So having reading a book at that time is very much important.
I think there is a technical issue like power. So meanwhile, can you all chat in the chat, type in the chat box now? What did you learn till now? What are the areas? How to be more mentally immune? I request you to type in the chat box, please. By the time ma'am comes, what exactly do you feel? What are the areas that you need to focus? And what are your take homes? What did you learn? Which will be a better for you? Kindly type in the chat box. What areas can be focused? Gurucharan says, when stress, giving time to yourself is very important. Very good, Gurucharan. Yeah, we need to give time to ourselves when we are in stress. Okay, very good. Next. Accept and adapt to the situations. Gayatri Mahipati says that accept and adapt to the situation. This is very, very important. Why? Because now we are in the pandemic situation, especially when it comes to the when you talk about the COVID. So Gayatri Mahipati says that accept and adapt to the situation. 6 keys for mental health. Okay. Can anybody remember what are the keys that ma'am was sharing? What are the 6 keys for mental health? What are the 6 keys for mental health? Maipal sir, thank you. Nice talking to you. Thank you for your presence here. Yeah. One is social connections. Okay. Now, before ma'am comes, let us all reflect on ourselves. No, I request everybody to think about you and reflect on yourself. How you best you are able to connect social connections. No, like imagine that who are your friends and how many people you've been connected with. Just reflect on yourself. No, it's staying active. Yes, ma'am is back. Okay. Uh, I request ma'am to go ahead with the session. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Sorry for the inconvenience, Andy. So we are talking here about the skip or the sleep. Sleep, as I already mentioned, skipping even a few hours here and there can be take a toll on the mood, energy, mental sharpness, and overall well-being. So sleep is very important.
I'm sure that most of you might have faced experiences. Now, when we are doing certain things, now you were involved totally 100% in the certain things, and all of a sudden something goes wrong. No, how you are able to deal, that's also very important. now staying active, no? Mahipati Gayatri says that staying active. Can you all type in the chat box if you are staying active in the sense if you are doing exercise or gym, going for gym or else yoga or meditation? Can you type Y in the chat box if you are doing it? Can you type Y in the chat box if you are doing it? And in the chat box if you are not doing it. Gurucharan just Y, yes, he is doing. Okay, very good. Yeah, Mahipati Gayatri says yes. Okay, she's physically active. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Gayatri. Others, I request everybody to respond, please. We got 7 participants. Thank you. Yeah. Then apart from staying active, managing stress, no? How do you manage your own stress? Now, how many of you just think for a while that no, when were you in stress and how did you deal with the stress? If somebody says that I was never stressed and I'm stress free, that's wonderful. And I don't think that we'll have people like that. Thank you, ma'am. Sharmila, ma'am, we'll go ahead.
Yeah. Now we will be talking about the meaning and purpose of life. There are 2 ways of the finding a meaning and purpose of the life. One is the
Make the
psychological.
presentation full screen, madam.
One is the psychological aspect, and the other is the biological purpose. The psychological purpose, or the emotional purpose, is how do you think? If you look at your life, how do you think about it? Your life, is it feeling contented? Is it feeling blessed, happy? I would like to make yourself a very positive day. Feel about yourself and purpose that drives you, or simply a reason to get out of a bed in the morning. It's like how you wake up, being energetic and happy for yourself. That is one of the psychological. Biological purpose is finding meaning and purpose is essential to brain be healthy, and as it can help generate new cells and create new neural pathways in the brain. This is something that we see the social purpose. It's going to solve a lot of purpose in the life. See, whom do you get up for? Is it which is exciting? Is your job exciting? Is your family trying to spend the time with your family exciting? Or going out reach your goal, or trying to pass a project, or get work the purpose of the life. It could be your work, it could be family, it could be society, it could be something contributing from your side that makes a strong purpose and meaning in life. For example, if you're working something, makes you happy for some part of the time. Right to the end, I will make things happen. That becomes a purpose and happy for that. Happy and a very energetic life with you and your family for years together. That itself is a big purpose. So when this emotion works stronger emotional purpose, automatically whatever makes you feel happy and exciting opens up a new cells in your brain. It activates the brain in a very high level with a high level enthusiasm. It makes it possible. Look of life more purposeful and happier. So what gives you the meaning and purpose? As I'll go through the points, engaging work that provides meaning to yourself and others, what we have discussed right now, your relationships, you're spending time together and able to go out and have a good time as a family, good memories of the family, caring for the pet, which makes you feel happy and get out of the bed. If you have a dog or a bird or something, if they come up and wake you up, you feel happy and trying to pet them. Volunteering. So this is something you're contributing to the society that you would like to volunteer and do some social cause, and being part of some social cause, again, it makes you feel having a purpose and contributing and caregiving. If you are able to attend your parents, giving. Gratitude, being thankful for all the people having in your life, be it from the work, family, friend, anywhere, whoever it is, for all the things you have in your life. Gratitude makes you feel positive and go to any extent of being happy. And forgiveness, important for any aspect to build on is once you let go, once you're able to forgive the deeds which are the bad or which are not supporting, or people who have not gone to good or right in your this thing way of understanding, then forgiving helps your brain not to get into the damaging of the cells in your brain. So definitely forgiveness is all about when you let go things, it means you're letting go the bad or the negative feelings out of your brain. So you are going perspective is built during challenging times, means how we stay stronger, how we remain to be strong. The more we are going to become more beautiful and stronger and healthier if we are able to have the good mental immunity. So again, saying that knowing something and being able to do consistently doing it is two different things. Now we are able to understand what is mental immunity, but actually acting on it is what we all of us should do, which actually helps us knowing, but acting and being able to be consistent on doing it is going to help us. So that with that, I would like to have my own words here. Happiness is a choice. It is not going to be given, or it is not something we can derive from something. It's a choice of our feeling. Whether you want to be happy, whether you want to be sad is your own choice. And now, if you have any questions, anything would you like to ask me, you can go ahead.
Yeah, it's open for the questions. If somebody is interested to ask any questions, you can. Any queries, or else if you have any add-ons, values, or
Yes.
else if you want to share your compliments, you can. It's open. You can. I'm given permission to unmute yourself, and you can speak. I'm sure that no, there's a lot of there are many things that echoes, and this is very important because mental immunity is very important. And we all talk, most of the times we speak about the physical fitness. Mental fitness is also very important. You can unmute your microphones and you can speak. Gayatri, Jagdishwari, Rajiv. I think, like most of the times, when people listen to the sessions like this, they may be contemplating and reflecting upon themselves, what areas I need to improve, how to deal with the stress during this pandemic and all. And I'm sure that Chandrasekhar would like to speak. Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you so much. I hope that it was fulfilling for everyone. And Mahipati Gayatri says that knowing and doing is more important. Okay, that's the reason we made this session, Gayatri, so that we all will start doing it, because now madam made us to know what are the areas that we need to do. So I hope that those who are there in the sessions, who are listening to us, will start executing and reap the results through doing, not only by knowing. Chandrasekhar, please go ahead.
Good evening, all the participants and Sharmila madam. It was wonderful listening to you for past 1 hour or so. It was nice, and it is mental and physical, balance which can complement each other, and then a human being can definitely prosper in life. There were many insights which could be noted, and they all help us in our day-to-day life. It's a need of the session. At the same time, you made it so simple and being so patient and explaining step by step. It was it was a cakewalk for us to just understand. It helped us a lot. Thanks a lot for the efforts, and I wish it helps us a lot, and wish you all the success for your future, man.
Thank you, Chandrasekhar garu. Good. Actually, the good part here is we all know this, but at times it goes into the grounded layers, very down, deeper layers of things where we don't get them outside and rethink on that. It's a little bit try from my side to surface all this, whatever we have to do and be like, is a try from my side to surface whatever the known things, all of these are the known things, but trying to surface them. So yes, it's a good time which I have, and thank you, Dr. Mahipati Srinivas garu, for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge and inputs to all of you. And thank you for having me here. And have a great day. And wish to see you all and have you all again.
Thank you very much, madam. Thanks a lot. No, it was a wonderful. Thank you very much. No, I have a long association, and I know that no, you have been doing great job saving many people's life and making them to be happy. The last statement that you said, that happiness is a choice, that's true, and that's what you made us also know. There was a we had a choice to be happy by listening to you, knowing about how to deal with the immunity, mental immunity, and especially the points which you have shared. No, many times people undergo what are the areas that they they have stress. They know that now how to deal with the stress. As you rightly said that no, we need to spend time with ourselves, with quality time. As you rightly said that no, this is the right time. COVID has given us time to be no happy, and time to be think about adaptability, flexibility, making time for the parents, making time for the kids, quality time, and so daily scheduling. At the same time, you also said that the most important thing is that when you stressed out, eating what you eat is also very important, and sleep, which is very important. Unless you have enough sleep, how you also explained how it is going to impact our mind through releasing say secretions of the endorphins or else other hormones. And I really appreciate you taking a lot of time and making us to understand the various things, that especially the six things which are very important keys of mental health was very important. I hope that everybody will start thinking that how they can have their social connections now, how they can be active all the time, how they can make themselves know, maybe yoga or exercise, what they can do, and how what are the coping tools that they are able to use in managing their stress. So these are all the things which are very important, and I hope that our listeners will try to implement them and make their life more happy. Once again, I thank you from my bottom of my heart for making your time and making us to uh, aware about how to deal with the stress, how to be mentally strong during this COVID time and make our life a better life. Thank you, Sharmila Manan. Thanks a lot. In spite of the power drop, you did not drop. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. It was wonderful listening to you. It was there are a lot many takeaways from for us. Thank you very much. Raju sir, thank you very much. Thank you, Chandrasekhar and Jagadishwar, and other today we had other two counseling psychologists. They too listened. No, thank you very much, Kirtana and other two, Sujata. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you. Hope looking forward to see many sessions from you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So I can leave the session right now.
Yeah, I'll end the session.